going on, everybody? You guessed it, you guessed it. It is your boy, Trey Sense, and listen, thank you for returning to the scene of the crime, stopping back by the channel. So, you can tell by the thumbnail and the title what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about fragrances that I think are good for beginners. Caveat, beginners that are in their 30s and 40s. Before I get into this though, I need a little something from you. I need you to like this video, and share this video, and I need you to sub to the channel. All right, so again, as I was saying, what we're going to talk about here are just 7 fragrances from my collection that I think are good for the novice, the beginner, somebody that's just getting into fragrances. And we always think when somebody's getting into fragrances that they're young. That's not always the case. Sometimes people are just discovering the art and the love and the craft of fragrances as they age. You know, some of them may be in their 20s, some of them may be in their 30s, some of them may be in their 40s, or even their 50s. But either way, these are a few fragrances from my collection that I think would help you start your journey. All of them are easy to get your hands on, basic but good. Nothing is super complex, but all of these will A, garner you compliments, B, they're easy to get your hands on, and C, and most importantly, they smell good. The first one I want to talk to you about is from the house of Polo, which is one of my favorite fashion houses, as well as fragrance. So from the house of Polo, it is Polo Blue Parfum. And I have several iterations of Polo Blue, and let's see if I can name them. I have Ultra Blue, Deep Blue, I have Polo Blue Parfum, I have Polo Blue the Collector's Edition, I have Polo Blue, Deep Blue I think would be the EDP. I have the original Polo. I got a lot of Polo Blues. This one is a compliment getter. I remember wearing this one to work, and a young lady, excuse me, as I walked by, asked me, what is that you got on? And it was Polo Blue. Now this one, to me, when this first came out as the OG, the original Polo Blue, when it first came out, it was very well received. It was a type of fragrance that a lot of, let's say, shall we say, pretty boys wore it. It was a polo fragrance, and it was very chill. It was the type of fragrance that you love to wear around a female because it wasn't too strong, it wasn't too overpowering, but it smelled good. And, you know, again, I graduated high school in the mid-90s, right there in the middle in 95. So, when you told a young lady that you had Polo on, or they saw that you had Polo, it was well represented because they knew, okay, you got Polo. Okay, girl, you got some of that Polo. Now, the original Polo has a little bit of a cucumber note, very fresh. This one doesn't really have that cucumber note, and it's not as fresh. What it is, it's a little bit more masculine than the original. It's a little bit deeper, a little bit richer. Still retains a little bit of freshness, and it's still super, super easy to wear. And most importantly, it's very inexpensive. You can pick this up at places like Joma Shop, and you probably get a 50 mil, 100 mil, 125 mil maybe for 60, 70 bucks. Or if you really just want to try it and get your nose on it, you can always order a decant from me. Or you can pay attention to the 1.3 ounce size, I think, which is a good size, especially if you have a lot and you're just trying to add to your collection, or if you're honestly just trying to start your collection with a nice basic fragrance that smells good. Nothing wrong with buying the 1.3 ounce, and there's definitely nothing wrong with sampling and then go from there. So if you buy this, get the 1.3 ounce and you like it, hey, it's very simple. Then you get the bigger bottle. If you like it and it's something that you're going to buy and wear on a daily basis, you'll need the biggest bottle that you can find. If you're gonna have lots of different fragrances, which I do not recommend, don't recommend that. I recommend you find yourself 5 to 10 that work for you, and you wear and enjoy those 5 to 10. That is my honest recommendation for you that are beginners. But this is a good one to start with. It is basic, but it is good. A little bit of citrus at the top, which I think is what makes this one a little bit different than the original Polo, But as I stated earlier, the original Polo has a little bit of a cucumber. This one has something in it that gives it much more of a citrus vibe. But nonetheless, it is good. It smells good. I like it. I like it a lot. From the house of Ralph Lauren Polo, it is Polo Blue perfume. This next one is another flanker to an OG, but I think it is wonderful for a beginner fragrance. And I like this better than the OG. The OG is Cool Water. This one is Cool Water Parfum. And this is what I think Cool Water should have been in the beginning. Now, the original version of Cool Water is different than the version that we have now. It smells different. The one we have now still smells good. Doesn't smell as good as the original. This bad boy right here, this right here. Now, I like Intense as well. Cool Water's Intense is good, but it is really, really sweet. It is really, 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 really sweet. This one right here is definitely more masculine. It's definitely more mature. It's definitely more grown up, definitely more subtle, more chill. But you still get a little bit of that green effect that you get from the original Cool Water mixed in with just the right amount of sweetness. This acts like a parfum, means it sits a little bit closer to the skin. You will still get some projection out of it. It just smells really, really good. This is a fragrance that I think a lot of people will like and would like to smell on you, and they're not gonna really recognize it as, what is it you're wearing? Cool Waters, and they're gonna think, that don't smell like Cool Waters, and then you'll tell them it's Cool Waters Parfum. But again, it's another fragrance that you can easily get under 40 or 50 bucks. And for that price, it is definitely worth picking up. Again, think a little bit green, a little bit clean, a little bit aquatic. And that's what you have with this right here. Way better than the original Cool Water. So from the house of Davidoff, it is Cool Water Parfum. This next one, common theme here, it's another flanker. This is the second iteration from this house, and the original is Aros Wanted. Well, this is Aros Wanted by Night, and I think this one is severely, severely overlooked because Aros has released some really good flankers, such as the Most Wanted Parfum, Intense maybe, Most Wanted Cologne, Wanted Tonic, which is one that gets overlooked. One of my favorites from the house is Wanted Parfum, the silver one. Man, that one is really, really good. So this one, Wanted by Night, gets overshadowed. And listen, if you can't find this one, go with the original Wanted. It's really, really good. It's a really good fragrance, and so is this one. Very easy to wear. Definitely a date night fragrance. Nobody is going to tell you that you smell bad if you walk in the room with this on. Very affordable. I like the house of Aros. I think it's one of those houses that just gets overlooked. Oh yeah. That smells real good. Dark, rich. Sweet, definitely a date night fragrance. And if you're trying to start your collection, this is one of those fragrances that you will definitely want to add for two reasons. For one, it's one that you can wear in the evening, or it's one that you can wear when temperatures start to cool down a little bit, or it's one that you can wear on a date night. Whether it's the winter or the summer, it doesn't have to be a specific season for you to wear this, but it is definitely one that you will want to wear as the sun goes down and you're winding the evening down, or you're taking a little lady, you're gonna take her to the Sizzler. You know what I'm saying? You didn't stop by the 99-cent movie and you didn't bought the Milk Duds and the popcorn. Now you're gonna finish it off at the Sizzler. So you can take them back to the crib and, you know, do what you do. This is one of those fragrances, and you're gonna get nice performance, nice longevity and projection out of it. And here's the best part about this fragrance, fellas. It smells good, and not a lot of people are wearing it. This is one of those fragrances that, to me, in my collection, is extremely redundant because I have just about all of the wanted. There may be a special edition that I didn't get or something, but this one reminds me a little bit of some of the Born in Roma fragrances as well, or should I say some of the Valentino fragrances. Born in Roma definitely comes to mind, but it's a really good fragrance still. Almost gives you a slightly boozy coffee type of vibe to it, but this is just one that you just need to get on your skin. Listen to me now, believe me later on with this one. This is a really good fragrance from the house of Aros. It is Wanted by Night. That's a beautiful scent. That is a beautiful scent. I got 3 more. This one may be the most unique one in the bunch, and it's from the house of Paco Rabanne, from the line of Invictus, and it too is a flanker, but it is Invictus Platinum. Invictus, oh man, that Aros is really cutting up. That Aros is, man, that's tough. That's gonna be tough to beat right there. To the Platinum. I'm gonna tell you, I wore this to work one night with some JB Butters. I had some Invictus scented JB Butters, and I had this on. I walked by a dude, and he stopped and looked at one of my managers and goes, "That man smells perfect." Now, with this one, you will definitely pick up on some of the Invictus DNA, which can be a little bit playful. It can be a little bit young, youthful. But there's nothing wrong with being young. There's nothing wrong with being youthful. I should have brought me some water in here to drink, or some coffee to help clear the palate. This and Legend are 2 of my favorites from the Invictus line, but Invictus is a really good line. They just have a lot of flankers. Now, comparing this to the original Invictus, to me, this is almost like a mix between the original Invictus and Invictus Aqua. The 2, this is like, to me, a combination of the 2. So what you get here is a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of an aquatic vibe. I wonder if this one is a parfum concentration because it sits a little bit closer to the skin. I would attempt to read that, but these eyes cannot read that on the bottom, and I can't remember. If I could make one suggestion to these companies, it would be always put the name and concentration on the bottle so people know. Because if somebody were looking through my collection and they picked this up and they smelled it, how would they know? How would they know what this is? Oh, it just says Invictus. So if you look it up, it says Invictus right there. But if you went to look this fragrance up and it says Paco Rabanne on the back, you would have no clue. But that's what this fragrance reminds me of. A little bit of all the Invictuses rolled into one with this one, which is one of the reasons why I think it's better to get this one than Aqua, better to get this one than the OG, because you're gonna get a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of an aquatic vibe, and it is a very masculine fragrance, which will be fine. But if you're trying to start a collection, again, this is one that you can wear any time of the year. You can wear it during the day, you can wear it at night, you can go on a date with it, you can wear it to office, you can wear it to church, you can go to your son's ball game with it. Just a great basic fragrance to add to your collection that's not too heavy on the pockets, and it smells really, really good. So from the house of Invictus, it is Invictus Platinum. I like that a lot. This next one, when it first came out, everybody was talking about it. The hype has died down tremendously. It is in rag stores like Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Haven't really seen it at Burlington. Haven't really seen it at Ross, but definitely Marshalls and TJ Maxx. And it is from Versace. And it is Dylan Blue. My levels on there. Ooh, levels are right about there. This is a blue monster. Really, really fresh, blue, sweet, and strong, and loud. So this is what you would wear if, say, you were going to a basketball game or something, or if you were going to shoot pool with your homeboys and just hang out, and you really wanted to stand out in the room as far as being smelled. This is it. Now, it's not going to be a scent that people have not smelled before, because a lot of people have had this fragrance in their collection, and a lot of youngsters have had this fragrance in their collection. But it is a fragrance that smells good. To draw a comparison, it does remind me a little bit of Bleu de Chanel, a little bit stronger, well, a lot stronger, but still it's a good fragrance. And for the price that you can pick this up in a gift set at, again, places like TJ Maxx, mainly Marshalls. I see this in gift sets a lot at Marshalls, especially during the Christmas holidays and right after the Christmas holidays. I definitely think it is one that, yeah, definitely think it's one that you should add to your collection. I like it. I like it a lot. From the house of Versace, it is Dylan Blue. I almost call this Bleu de Chanel, but think blue, think a little bit sweet, think a little bit musky, and masculine is what you get with this fragrance. I like it. It doesn't have the incense in it that you get in a Bleu de Chanel, but it will give you that same type of vibe. So from the house of Versace, Dylan Blue. And for the price that I think you can pick that one up at, it's a no-brainer. This next one is from the house of Versace as well. And this one just happens to be a flanker, but you can go with any of them from the OG to the latest iteration. The OG would be Versace Aros, and the newest would be in the Aros line. I mean, I guess they got Aros Energy. There's a new brown one that came out. But as far as Aros, I'm talking about the EDT, the EDP, and the Parfum. I'm not talking about the rest of the flankers. This one is the Parfum, but my actual suggestion would be the EDT. And this smells good. And I'm gonna tell you, women absolutely love this scent. They do. My advice is probably get whichever one you find and whichever one is the cheapest, whether it's the EDT, the EDP, or the Parfum. It's not really a whole lot of difference in the way either one of them smell. They're really, really sweet, green, fresh, aromatic type of fragrances. And I say again, women love them. The type of fragrance that you can wear all year round, any event, any place, anytime, it doesn't matter. You can spray this on and it's gonna be fine. Nighttime, daytime, dress it up, dress it down, jeans and a t-shirt, jeans and a button up, you know, whatever you wear, this is the daily driver. This is a daily driver, and you can pick this up. Again, I see a lot of these gift sets as well at Ross. Well, not Ross, I'm sorry, at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Don't think I've seen it at Burlington, but I know I've seen the EDP version of this year at TJ Maxx, this year in 2025. So just a great fragrance, just a great one to add to your collection. And any age can wear this fragrance. But again, this video is directed for guys who are starting collections in their 30s and 40s, okay? But this is one that I definitely think you should get, and I think your lady will like it too. Again, sweet green fragrance. That's what you have right here. Versace Aros. Again, this one is the Parfum concentration, but don't be shy to getting any of them, whether it's the EDT, the EDP, or the P. All of them work. And last but not least, this is one of the bad boys of Fragcom, and like it or not, this fragrance is good. It smells good, it performs good, it's at a good price point, and you won't bore her. You will Dior her. From the house of Christian Dior, it is, as the people gonna say, you got that Savage, it is Dior Savage. And again, same old house as Bleu de Chanel. Just turn up the loud, turn up the incense, turn up the radio, turn up the music, turn it all up, because that's what you're going to do with this one. This is loud, it is obnoxious, it is strong, it gives off super masculine energy, it gives off look at me vibes, but the one thing that it does, well, the two things it does, it smells good and it performs, and that's what you want in a fragrance. I bought this from a lady. And it's funny, she knew I was into fragrances, which is why she was selling it to me. And she was trying to sell me on what it was and how good it smelled. I'm just looking at her like, you know me for 20 plus years. You already know it ain't a day I'm on this earth that I don't smell good. You already know that. You already know. So why are you trying to sell me on this fragrance? But she described it as one of those fragrances that just, it's a panty dropper. And I'm just like, this is what I'll give you for it. So I gave her like $50 for it, $55 for this 200 ml, probably $150, $200 fragrance. And I had a 50 ml myself. So I sold my 50 for the same price that I bought this. So I actually got in this for nothing, essentially. But it smells really, really good, guys. And the fragrance gets a bad rap, especially from us in FragCom, because none of us want to wear this anymore because it is worn to death. It is worn to death because before people were buying Creed Invictus, and before they were buying Baccarat Rouge 540, they were buying Savage. So it's 1,000 iterations of this out there on the market, but that doesn't change the fact that it smells good. And I'm going to recommend that if you are a young man and you're in your 30s or your 40s and you're trying to break into FragCom, or you're trying to get some basic hitters in your collection, Savage is definitely one of those that you should add to it. Again, are you gonna stand out? Yes, because you smell good and it's loud. Are you gonna stand out and be unique? No. But at the time, who cares? Because all they're gonna know is that you smell good. That's all that, and that's the object of the game, is to smell good. That is it. That is the object of the game, is to smell good. Speaking of object of the game, it was the object of my game to get through this review and talk to you guys about 7 fragrances from my collection that I think you should start your collection with if you're in your 30s or 40s. Now, I know some of you probably watched this video, well, you didn't name this, you didn't name that, you didn't name this. I did name fragrances that may be harder to get, like our Camera Kawa is one that I would recommend later. But you don't want that to be somebody's first fragrance, because that's a heavy hitter. That's a complex fragrance. Does it smell good? Yes, but that's not necessarily an everyday smell. These right here, to me, are just versatile and can be used in different situations. Now, you can wear the Kawa every day, but that's different. So just wanted that out there. That's the reason I left certain fragrances off and I put certain fragrances on. I can do an honorable mention real quick. Hawas and Nitro, but those may be a little harder to find. You may have to order those. These right here, you can go in just about any store that sells fragrances and get most of these. You may not be able to still get the platinum, but the rest of these you may not be able to just walk in and get the cool waters. But the rest of these, 5 out of the 7, I know in just about any place that sells fragrances, you will be able to get. And you could definitely get all of these from Fragrance Net or Fragrance X, which I know you can get anything from there. I digress, but I'm just saying, if you just happen to be in a Sephora, which I don't recommend, or wherever, if you know somewhere, that sells fragrances or a fragrance shop or whatever, they will have all of these, and it won't be any questions or anything. None of them are hard to find, I guess is the point that I'm trying to make. All right, guys, well, I'm gonna get off of here. Again, thank you so much for watching my videos. Continue to check in. I hope 2025 has been everything that you wanted it to be. If not, hey, the change starts with you. So let's make that change, all right? All right. I love you all, and may God bless you all. Until next time, guys. Peace.